Hello there. This is MAP4C, day 34. The lesson is 4.3 on surveys. The 3-minute review question is some ratio stuff, um, and off we go. 30 students at a school, or 80 students at a school were surveyed about where they eat lunch. If they're 900 students, what percent were surveyed? Now this will be important to us soon, but as a fraction, it's just 80 over 900. We put that into lowest terms or pound it into a calculator, and we get about 0.089, which is about 8.9% were surveyed. In part B, here are the results, and we want to calculate the percent in each group. So we surveyed 80, and 35 of them ate in the cafeteria. So 35 out of our 80, which is 43.75%. Just put that into a calculator, multiplied by 100. That's the percent. This is the percent out in the cafeteria. And then, I'm not going to do them all, but that who ate at home would be 15 out of 80, which was 18.75%. Well, that's exact, actually, and so on. And one of the points about the stats business is that, we only surveyed 80 people, but we should be getting an idea that around 44% of the 900 people eat in the cafeteria. And we could make a prediction, if we wanted to, that about what percent of the 900 eat in the cafeteria. So we say, since 44% of our sample ate in the cafeteria, 44% of the school probably eats in the cafeteria at the school. And that's why we sample, right? We don't want to have to talk to all 900 when 80 will do. On to today's stuff is a discussion on surveys. And this is, this lesson would have been one that would have been better if we could do it in the whole class, because this is, it's a discussion sort of thing. We'll discuss a bunch of things and talk about different people's ideas, because I think people have lots of good ideas about what surveys are, but unfortunately, you're listening to this on a video, and the only discussing you'll hear is with me. But I'm hoping that when you get back tomorrow, you should jot this down. Tomorrow, discuss this with your classmates, okay? This is a lesson where you need to talk about the concepts a little bit. There's not a lot of math today, just the concepts. We would like to survey the student population to figure out what type of music to play in the hallways before class. What questions or question should we ask? Well, there's lots of ways to ask this, but it could be just as easy as this. What music do you like? Or what music would you like to hear in the hallways, after class, or before class, rather. But even something as simple as that, we'll see that it's not that easy, right? What does it mean to like music? If you really, really like it, is that only liking it, or am I asking you to choose one flavor of music over another flavor of music? You know, different people's interpretation. So if I hear country music, that might be something to me that would mean something different to somebody else. So even a question as easy as this can be interpreted different ways. And it says, give as many different ways as possible to ask the question you wrote in A. This one is what's called an open question. In an open question, people just respond in their own words. We could have a closed question, which there's lots of different closed questions, including checklists, right? And you've answered surveys, and you're actually going to write one later in this chapter and hand them out. A checklist, check out all the different types of music that you like. There's rating questions. A rating question would be, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being terrible and 10 being I love it, how much do you like this music? A ranking question is a little bit different, and we'll see examples of these, by the way. A ranking question is, here's a bunch of music, which is your first favorite, and then second favorite, and third favorite, and so on. And we'll see these in a bit. And I'm hoping that you have this for a discussion. But what's wrong with these questions? This is a checklist question. What's your favorite type of music? Check them. Right. Of course, what happens if it's not there? Right. The problem is it is not all options. Right. That's the problem with a checklist. Right? Well, how do you fix that? You do this sort of thing, right? That would make sense to do that. Rank your favorite types of music from 1 to 5. There's nothing really wrong with this. That's not, the same thing here. This should say other, but rank your types of music from 1 to 5, and we'll talk about, is 1 good or is 5 good? It's not very clear, right? And if 2 people, 1's my favorite, or 1 is the one I like the least, I'll get the highest mark to the one that I'm good. So you'd have to say from 1 being favorite or 1 being least favorite to 5 being favorite. That way it's clear. One thing about a ranking question that makes it different than the next one, which is a rating question, is that when you're responding it, you kind of have to choose one over another, right? You have to choose, okay, this is where 1 is being my least favorite and 5 being my favorite. And I'm not sure if this is the way you'd write it, but maybe this would be, your listing, right? And so this is a ranking where you've chosen one over another, where you couldn't really, pick them all 1, right? All of these are tied. A ranking question forces you to decide. Where a rating question, rate the types of music from 1 to 10. Again, we got the same problem. Which side is good? So what's wrong with this question is the same problem up here. But a rating question, I want to explain what a rating question is. Each one of these is able to get I could rank them all equally the same, where in a ranking question I couldn't do that. I'd have to put them in a unique order from favorite to least favorite. Here all of them could be so-so. If I wanted to answer it that way, I could. And of course both of these questions have the problem that not all options are listed. Choose the phrase that best describes your feelings towards each type of music. And what's wrong with this? Well, some people have pointed out that, well, there's no middle. But I have always said that these types of questions, and this is a type of rating question, right? This is a type of rating question in words. I like making people decide whether they somewhat enjoy or somewhat dislike those things. The one problem with this type of question, it's hard to find the average, right? So over here, I could find the average country rating, and then that would describe how much people liked country music, and I could understand that. But how do I get an average of strongly enjoy and somewhat dislikes and so on? These are these words, right? Well, I could change them to numbers if I wanted to, but that is somewhat a problem, right? That's sort of a problem with this type of question. What else have we got? What type of music do you like? This was my open question from earlier, and again, even something like this, I said, well, these words like and music are kind of hard to define exactly, and the problem with when people answer this, you might get songs. So these are the songs I like. These are the bands I like. Or you might get what you expect, probably, which is the genre of music, and you might get a mixture. And then you, as the surveyor, have to sort out all these people's cruddy answers, right? Where a checklist is very clear. So this type of question, this is an open question, and it's kind of hard to sort through everybody's answers. What type of music do you not like? For some reason or other, this idea of voicing questions in the negative, like which do you not like, or what is something that you don't want to do, it's confusing for people, and it's just too difficult. So don't voice it in the negative. Always voice it in a positive voice. I think you'll like this question. Northwestern is a hick school. So which music should we play? Check, 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 check. Well, this statement biases the answers, right? This is what's called a leading question. That little information leads the respondent to answer in a certain way. And of course, you'll want to avoid setting your respondents up. That sentence should just be eliminated. Okay. How are we doing for time on our discussion here? Can I keep going? We got a little bit to go. I'm going to stop there, and we'll go into part 2 in just a moment.